Welcome back to Boundless Books. Today, we're diving into Chapter 4 of Mockingjay, titled The Proposal. This chapter takes us deeper into the emotional consequences of war as Katniss returns to the ruins of District 12 and is faced with a powerful offer that could change the future of Panem forever. Let's explore the grief, anger, and responsibility that shaped this important chapter. The chapter begins with Katniss struggling to process everything she has seen since arriving in District 13. The underground district feels cold, controlled, and emotionally distant compared to the warmth of District 12. Although the people of District 13 treat her as an important figure, Katniss still feels trapped and uncertain about her role in the growing rebellion. Katniss is eventually taken back to the remains of District 12. As she walks through the destroyed streets, she is overwhelmed by shock and sadness. Almost everything she once knew is gone. Homes are reduced to ashes, shops are destroyed, and the entire district feels lifeless. The silence is haunting because the place that once held memories of family, friendship, and survival has become nothing more than a graveyard. The destruction forces Katniss to confront the true cruelty of the capital. President Snow did not simply punish District 12, he erased it. The devastation fills Katniss with anger, grief, and guilt. She remembers the people who once lived there and realizes how many innocent lives were lost because of the rebellion and her actions during the games. While exploring the ruins, Katniss reflects on how much her life has changed. She thinks about Prim, Gale, Peeta, and the dangerous political situation unfolding across Panem. She especially worries about Peeta, who remains trapped in the capital. The uncertainty surrounding his safety continues to weigh heavily on her mind. Gale accompanies Katniss through parts of District 12 and helps her emotionally survive the experience. Unlike Katniss, Gale's anger toward the capital is more focused and direct. He sees the destruction as proof that rebellion is necessary. His determination contrasts with Katniss' uncertainty, highlighting how differently the two characters react to trauma. After returning to District 13, Katniss meets with President Coin and other rebellion leaders. They explain that the rebellion needs a symbol, someone who can inspire the districts to rise against the capital. They want Katniss to become the Mockingjay, the living face of the rebellion. The proposal places enormous pressure on Katniss. Although she understands why the rebels chose her, she does not see herself as a hero. Katniss has always acted out of survival and love for her family rather than political ambition. The idea of becoming a propaganda figure makes her uncomfortable because she dislikes being controlled or used. President Coin presents the role in a calm and strategic way, but Katniss senses that politics are involved. Coin understands the power of symbols and public emotion. The rebellion believes that Katniss' actions during the Hunger Games already inspired hope among the districts, especially when she honored Rue and challenged the capital publicly. Katniss struggles with the decision because she fears losing herself in the rebellion's plans. She also worries about becoming another tool for powerful leaders, much like tributes are manipulated during the games. However, she cannot ignore the suffering caused by the capital or the possibility that she could help bring change. Throughout the chapter, Suzanne Collins explores themes of propaganda, leadership, grief, and personal identity. Katniss is caught between her desire for freedom and the expectations placed upon her by both the capital and the rebellion. This conflict becomes one of the most important emotional struggles in Mockingjay. The chapter ends with Katniss still uncertain about accepting the role of the Mockingjay. However, the proposal marks a turning point in the story because it transforms the rebellion from a hidden resistance movement into something larger and more public. Katniss must now decide whether she is willing to become the symbol that Panem desperately needs. Key moments in the chapter include: Katniss returns to the destroyed ruins of District 12. The emotional impact of seeing her former home destroyed. Gale's growing anger toward the capital. President Coin introduces the Mockingjay proposal. Katniss struggles with the responsibility of becoming a symbol. The rebellion's plans begin taking shape. Differences between the book and the movie. The book spends more time describing Katniss' emotional reactions while walking through District 12. Katniss' inner thoughts and trauma are explored more deeply in the novel. The movie shortens several reflective scenes for pacing. President Coin appears more politically calculating in the book. Gale's emotional responses are given greater detail in the novel, that wraps up Chapter 4, The Proposal. This chapter marks a major turning point in Mockingjay as Katniss begins facing the reality of becoming the symbol of an entire revolution. The destruction of District 12 and President Coin's offer force her to question her identity. her responsibilities, and the true cost of rebellion. What would you have done in Katniss' position? Accepted the role immediately or refused the pressure? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time on Boundless Books for the next chapter of Mockingjay.